5 golden rings. So this is what I'm thinking about. Reading the book, breaking out of homeostasis. It's connecting it to me. Connecting it for me to what Tyler from RSD talks about. He speaks about that ho-hum small town vibe where you don't want to bother people, you don't want to offend anyone, you don't want to appear to be an alpha male because you might get shot or something. You might get hurt. People will be mad at you. You're being too proud. You're not humbling yourselves. There's just that instinct. It's the amygdala brain that wants to follow the norm, follow what people are doing and not think for themselves. And it's detrimental in this day and age. Sure, maybe back in the day when you lived in a tribe, you didn't want to go try and get with the tribe leader's wife. You'd die. Stupid. And if you weren't that smart, you couldn't think for yourself. It was better to do what other people were doing because they were still surviving back in the day. The nature of the game wasn't so much thrive and build a big house and have lots of kids and build a thriving business. It was mostly tribal warfare and just surviving. So if you were following with the tribe, then you survived, most likely. But now it's different. There's no threat of violence, really. Really unlikely for you to be exiled from society. You're not going to get kicked out of America if you're born here. So you pretty much do whatever you want, without repercussions if it's within the legal system, and there's an element of doing unto others as you do unto them. Following the 10 Commandments, you probably won't go to jail. So a lot of the fear that we have in our amygdala brain, social anxiety, social fear. Also, it's interesting, in the book, An Easy Way to Quit Smoking, he says, the only reason people don't stop is because of fear. So all this fear, everything's coming together, everything's connecting in my mind. I'm building a commonplace of information here. So he actually says that he would make a 5-minute video in public. So maybe I should do that instead of inside of here. Because in that video, RSD Tyler, he talks about that he's trying to break people out of that ho-hum vibe. That it doesn't help them because no woman is going to want to be with the ho-hum guy who's suppressing himself, repressing himself in order to please others. When in today's day and age, it's not going to please the right people, and it's not going to please the wrong people. You're just being a bitch. So, see how I can express myself authentically in private. But am I the same person in public? Do I have the same mannerisms, the same confidence, the same belief, the same emotion, the same brazen impudence, unabashedness? Same lack of fear of criticism. Because my cats aren't going to call me out on what I'm saying. Nah. So, do it in public, make the video log in public, post it up. The connection is there. Fear, the amygdala, so I want to do those things that he talks about. You can do things to improve your higher order thinking, but you can also do things to stop the mental blocks. Because the geniuses out there that have massive IQs, they may also have a high, strongly functioning amygdala where they have excessive pattern recognition, where They are super fearful and cautious in social situations and will do anything to please that person, even if it's detrimental for themselves. They would go far beyond what they know is right, and they can't act courageously and follow what their heart and what their instinct says is the right thing to say or do without stuttering, without doubt. They follow what their mind and their heart and their soul says is the right thing to do, no matter what the people around them are doing or think is right. The two studies I thought were super intriguing and interesting. I'd like to maybe test, as well as do all of the breaking out of homeostasis, amygdala, break from the slavery of the amygdala exercises. But he said one test, they had participants come into a room and they would look at 2 lines on a piece of paper. 2 lines on a piece of paper. Super obvious. So I don't know how exactly it was done, but it is an analogy. There's 2 lines on this piece of paper. I want you to tell me which one, this one or this one, is the longer one. Which line is longer, that one or that one? They would do it in private at first, just one-on-one. 99% of the time they got it right. Then they had them come in a group, and a group of people would go, which one's the longer, they would ask a group of people, which one's the longer one? And they would have planted people in the group, and they would all say, they'd all say, this one's the longer one, this one's the longer one. And then the original person, the original subject, individual, who did it correctly alone, they would change. They would go along with the group. Even though they knew they were wrong, obviously as simple as lines, dude. It's lines on a piece of paper. Oh man, the 2 words he used to describe that test were perfect words. As simple and uncontroversial as lines on a piece of paper. How much more when there's more complex systems going about, such as globe and flat Earth. That's what connected me to the flat Earth idea, because there's a lot more involved when you're trying to determine the shape of the Earth. There's a lot more factors involved than just lines on a piece of paper. So the other test that was interesting was in an elevator. They would have, normally you get in an elevator, everyone's facing the door so that when it opens they can walk out. And then this test, they would have planted people in the elevator, and they would all be facing a weird direction, like just facing the corner or something. So you press the button again, the elevator doors would open, and they'd all be facing some odd direction, some weird way. And then the person would look around and he'd face the same way as them. Just following what the people are doing. I'd like to do that one day. I think that'd be pretty hilarious. Just don't face, just look somewhere else. That'd be great. All right. I thought those were 2 interesting studies. So I want to break free from that. I was thinking I can do Wim Hof breathing, I could do Qigong, Falun Gong. Those are all things that I can do alone, but the fear of criticism and judgment would stop me in public, and I'd be just more prone to be a voyeur, an observer, not active, an active force in this world, a cause. I'd be more in effect. So when you can break through from that amygdala slavery and express yourself fully, no matter who's watching, without any fear of judgment, of criticism, no judgment of yourself either, you're gonna crush this life, and you're not in someone else's agenda. You're not concerned if you're pleasing someone else as much. Even though you may have a genuine desire to do so, it'll come from the right place, the right genuine place, not misconstruing what you think someone else's really desires are. I don't know, man. Just thoughts. You gotta share. I love it. I love the analogy he used in the book was So a quote, the painter writes to express what's going on. Man, I wish I knew the quote. It was amazing. But he said if the painter would walk through a forest, the next painting that he would do would be all green, all green. I want to think of a reverse analogy. There's got to be one out there. But the programmers, I don't even know. I got to ask Derek if they even have that idea. But they say programmers have the philosophy garbage in, garbage out. So if your program is garbage, it's not going to operate. It's going to operate like garbage. So the stuff that you're doing and the inputs that you're getting through your five senses every day is garbage. You're probably not going to have much garbage. You're probably going to have garbage in your life. You're probably going to be exhibiting garbage, demonstrating garbage. But if you have amazing inputs coming into your life, you're probably going to be demonstrating something amazing. Something amazing. So that's what I want to do. Hope that helps.